Sibyl Talk Podcast, Episode 1. Spoken Word Audiobook Drama by Maven Studios presents King James Demonology Shenanigans. Let's recap. In Act 1, Part 1, we break down work written by this famous or infamous king called Demonology in form of a dialogue in 3 books. The setting is him seemingly trying to form a coup set up against some witches, enchanters, magicians, etc., etc. We talking about magic work they use to help a man get it up or not? In Act 1, Part 2, we are introduced to the grandmères or grandmas, Agatha Jenkins, aka Hoodoo Grandma, and Twinnie LaRue, aka Voodoo Grandma, introducing us to just a little bit more about Book 1, Demonology. And basically, what we're getting into with the grandmères is they start talking about the aspect of the spooky pooky uproar all over the country, whether so-called witches are real or not, as they strike up a conversation about the spiritual work of Endorian Mami Wata Sibyl, Prophetess, who called up the prophet Samuel. Ooh, child. Now let's go sip and talk until we tip. Welcome to the Sibyl Talk Podcast with yours truly, High Priestess Maven, modern day Sibyl. And in the sacred language of hoodoo and voodoo, spoken by our ancestors and kinfolks for centuries in this land of the Americas, I say, La Priestess Maven en haut. En haut just means on high, all up in the ethers channeling y'all. My sippy tonic today is just plain water. It will change as time goes on, but this is what we are feeling today. Now sip. Time for sale libation. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Sacred Heritage International Preservation Society, or SHIPS, and in humble honor of La Grande Cosmic Mama and Papa, ancestors and kinfolks, the little bitty babies and the big ones too, of the Sibyl line and the bloodline on the front line and blood circles of past, present, and future. We say Ashe. Special honor to all of our fallen spiritists of the community, those who just wanted to practice the spirituality of our heritage, history, and culture. We honor you. So-called runaways, castaways, maroons. And we're going to bring in our folks that this society tried to completely obliterate, y'all, from the history books. The free people of color of many nations. We say Ashe and Aho. I want to send a special shout out to every single person of the community, this sacred spiritual community, modern day kinfolks, and come on, y'all, the skin folks too. Come on, why not? Who basically have been keeping our sacred spirituality going in the face of all opposition, erecting the ancestor altars. These altars have been on point. These altars have been acting as portals, and they have brought in so much assistance from the spirit realm right now. I'm telling you the truth. We honor and we say Ashe and merci beaucoup. We needed to offer this special dedication in our episode 1 of the Sibyl Talk podcast today. What we know as December 25th, 2023 on the Gregorian calendar system, I'm going to say also known as a holy day, a sacred day of spiritual union, divine feminine and divine masculine, where the two shall become one and make one. This is ancient, folks. This goes way, way, way back, thousands of years. And believe it or not, this dedication on this day of a baby, a little bitty baby in a manger, which really meant a major constellation. And that's for another day. I'm going to be dropping these gems. Take a sip. Let me get my sip. This is all about thousands of years of honoring the sacred divine masculine and divine feminine. Now, it had to be changed by some folks who, that's just what they do. So we're just going to keep moving forward because we can't get caught up in any type of regret right now. I'm not saying that we forget, but don't get caught up in regrets. I hope y'all all well because it's a great time to be alive and well right now. It was all about a man and a woman who had a little baby. Man and a woman had a little baby. Yes, they did. There were 3 in the family. That's a magic number. Okay, y'all, that's dating me, I know. In the spiritual community, we know this time of year to be about celebrating sacred union, the magic of creation or procreation. So when we talk about the garden and the creation in the garden, many of us know that that was just cradle mysteries, really talking about the sacred union of divine feminine and divine masculine. This is really worth celebrating. I'm telling you the truth. We'll keep that for another time, but let's just go ahead and get into the whole idea of why we're starting this Sibyl Talk, okay? We want to make sure that we talk directly about the project. This project, this is leading me right into this project. Talk about Maven Studios, a work after my own heart. As one who comes from the Sibyl line, I am so stoked that the ancestors have me channeling y'all this work. Take a sip. Y'all, the Maven Studios production brought to you today is created by yours truly, High Priestess Maven. The spirits of the Sibyls wanted me to put the book written by that little leprechaun. Okay, let me stop. Take a sip. Start over. Written by the one known as King James, demonology in form of a dialogue, an argument in 3 books. The spirit of the Sibyls wanted me to put that work in plain language so that people would know what the full intentions were from the work. Not only did I put it in plain language, I put it in the language of the culture, because around here, we do work about the culture, for the culture, by the culture. And basically spark conversation about the real reason for the coup put in place against sacred divine spirituality of our ancestors and kinfolks in the bloodlines and blood circles, okay? It has always been and always will be about suppressing the most potent and dynamic form of spirit work in the cosmos. That is Lovecraft Magie. Lovecraft Magie, the union of divine masculine and divine feminine. And the talisman book was put in place as a version of sacred text that was created by Sibyls, these sacred priestesses, as well as the help of priests of our ancestors from thousands of years ago, right? This is a special time, okay? We are in an era where there's a spiritual renaissance going on, spiritual renaissance. Okay. What we have in this time is a real great reflection on what we are able to do right now because the cosmos has our backs. Spiritual policy has our backs. The ancestors, the kinfolks have our backs. All we have to do is remember who we are. It's time out for the sit-ins and the lie-ins and the beg-ins. Just get quiet. Quiet. Get in the form of just speaking at a whisper, listening to that still small voice, and knowing that you have the greatest potential of creation right within your own body. It's time to take it back. We've taken it back. It's the great revelation, and it's all about revealing and putting puzzle pieces together, y'all. As we continue to do what we do, and we continue to know that we are treasures, and treasures will continue to unfold from us as we create. So this little talisman that was put together, and they all know how it has all those little code words in there, talking about passion fruit and serpents and beasts and gardens, all metaphors and allegory for Lovecraft magie of our ancestors. In that scripture, you will bring forth children in pain, and you will labor by the sweat of your brow. That's a hex. Until now, we claim our gardens back, y'all. Until next time,